Hello, everyone. Welcome to LOA Uncorked. This is Holly.
And this is Jeanna.
And this is a solo episode.
Solo. And I mean, it's like we couldn't pay anybody. We ran out of cash. We got to save up our little piggy bank, and then we'll get more people.
We have some great guests coming.
And some of them come for free, but sometimes we have to pay them. I mean,
no,
just
everybody's been very gracious. But yeah, we have a great lineup coming. We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, we're excited. 2022 is bringing really fresh surprises, and we love it. And we also want to invite you to find us on Fireside. That is an app. And it is backed by Mark Cuban, the Shark Tank guy, and Fallon Fatemi. And she's a powerhouse as well. And
it's just really like a community of creators to create conversation and content and community, which is fantastic. And so we're really enjoying understanding the platform and starting to think about our show in a broader way. So it's been fun.
Yeah, we loved it. And you're able to come on stage with us. And right now we've been doing, and you'll miss this because this will broadcast later, but we're going to do it again. If you come see us, we're doing some on the spot soul readings for our audience members.
It's been great. And then kind of focusing similar to the podcast on sort of a theme or a intent of the conversation, and really what we have found with the podcast, we absolutely adored doing it. It's just we missed that conversation with our listeners that just you can't seem to get in that podcast space outside of email or through our website or social media, which that's fantastic too, just as different. So this has been a great opportunity for us.
I love it. And also stay tuned. We'll let you know on social media. Please go find us on social media. And we'll send, if you're subscribed on our newsletter, we'll start that newsletter up again. But we're going to be guests on other people's podcasts. And in July next year, we're already slated to be on All Things Therapy with Lisa Tahir. And we're going to fly down to LA and have a really great adventure.
Yes, for sure.
And that's in July. So we have others coming up before then. And we're super excited about sharing our viewpoints and I don't know, and mingling with our planet of people.
And that we are inspired by every time. So yes, Lisa was on our podcast a couple episodes ago. If you haven't listened to it, it is a phenomenal episode. So be sure and go listen. And we're excited to spend more quality time inspired by Lisa for sure. In LA. I mean,
I love
it beats being here.
And speaking of our planet of people, if Jeanna and I were like on a planet, we would need these other two people to come with us. So truth be told, if you're not on YouTube watching us, we're just going to tell you we got this new step repeat, and people might be going, what the hell is a step repeat?
I even asked it. When she said, I got our step repeat,
I feel like I'm really Hollywood with an I.
You are Hollywood with the I.
I am, because I knew what the hell a step repeat was. Why? Because I've walked the red carpet.
Yes, you have.
I mean, I was nobody, but I was walking the red carpet as nobody. But I had a swag. The girls from LA were teaching me how to pose on the carpet. There is a pose.
I know.
That is completely fucking unnatural.
Right.
But it looks amazing.
Even my hand.
Even my mother, like at 93, said, well, who were you looking at when you made that picture? I go, really nobody, but
right.
Anyway, the LA girls helped me out. But Step Repeat is our LOA Uncorked is behind us. So come check us out on YouTube. And we have this beautiful Step Repeat, but going back to the planet of people. Okay, so Jeanna, listen, no. I mean, science isn't our thing. Hard labor is not one of our things either.
I mean, really thoughtful, detail-oriented things, not our thing either. I mean, this doesn't work.
No, okay,
so we invite people.
Well, they invited themselves, which was perfect because I know I didn't have to ask, which was gorgeous. And so our planet of people, which is my sister-in-law, who really actually, is the
brains of the operation,
the brains of the operation of my family. Okay. And her husband, which is my brother, which is he's not the brains. No, neither am I. Okay.
You've said that truth be told since you were little.
Yeah. We've been, absolutely. They come
That
over.
was your story and you're sticking with
Oh my
it.
God, they come over and they're hanging our step repeat, which is 8x8. It's kind of, it's not massive, but it's massive.
I mean, you didn't give up on it. I mean, you went full on out with the step repeat.
I mean, I did a good job.
You did a
I'm very
really
good at
good job.
purchasing.
Yes, you are.
I'm not good at hanging or anything physical. Stop it. No.
Yeah, all the time. And then you've kind of got like some bad wing business going on too.
I do.
So then I
rotator
really
cuff.
think that's your excuse more than you can't do it.
Well, no, while people
injured.
were like getting their laser beams out. I mean, like we had laser beams. I'm like, God, Jeanna, we'd be good like standing around a construction hole and looking down it.
My laser beam is like I close one eye and see if it looks straight.
Oh, no. They beamed it up there to make sure it's exactly straight.
Yep.
And then, I mean, there was hocus pocus going on. There was a lot of engineering hocus pocus just to hang this.
There were
It looks
brackets
beautiful. You should come check it out on YouTube. I mean,
it
honestly,
looks
I
good.
feel like we're like semi-professional now. At least look.
I do miss, we retired the flag.
Yes,
Now we're going to
we
use
love
the
the flag,
flag
but-
for other things, but
Yeah.
we retired it and went with a little bit more snazzy upscaled version of step repeat.
It's so
It does
beautiful.
look good. It does look good.
And I love our logo still.
I do too.
I know, it's so
It's been
good.
fun. We put that together. I mean, what, gosh, it's been
I don't know.
3 years?
18?
Yeah. 19.
19.
19.
Yeah,
It was 18. Yeah, it was like 3 years ago and I still love it.
I know.
I know it was good. We did good on that.
We did good on
that.
yes.
Yeah,
Thank you,
for sure.
Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel.
She helped us.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, all right, Jeanna gives me so much shit about,
Not enough, but I
I
do
like
give you so much, but I don't give you
I
enough.
like to rebrand everything. And listen, we've been taking all these tests,
she
human
does.
design, we take the
Listen to the
vitality
podcast.
test.
You know, you're feeling my pain
Oh,
right now. How many
my
times have
life
you tried to
path
rebrand
number. I
something?
mean, listen, all arrows point to Holli needs to rebrand fucking everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or I'm not happy.
If it's
Don't make me-
AKA if it's not Holly's idea, it's not good.
Well, there's some truth to that. I mean, I just feel
think
like
it's
I
a
can
little,
make
there's a
things
little bit.
better.
Oh yeah, of course you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, so when we talk about self-care, Jeanna was, I wanted to rebrand self-care because
Yes, you did.
self-care just feels like, I mean, self-care, how yawny, boring. Ugh. I mean, who wants to listen to us
Like I've
podcast
said
on
before,
self-care?
it conjures dirty thoughts for me.
I mean, but are they dirty, Jeanna?
Well, I just don't think they should be discussed in
Self-manipulation.
in the open. I mean, some things are just better left private, and that's one of them. So that's all.
Well, I mean, society today is not very private.
No, I understand that.
In fact,
I'm old school.
like I see so many more, I'm thankful for this, I guess. I mean, I see so many more advertisements that are normal. You look on Goop, they're always advertising sexual wellness
I know,
and
yes.
vibrators. And I'm like, wow.
I
okay,
know, and
this
I always
is-
thought,
well, what does that one do? Okay. Like, I don't know.
Quentin was so quiet.
You know what the
demure.
problem is I would get one of those things and I'd say, I'd have to call
I know.
everybody over and
Yeah.
say, how does this work exactly?
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do with it? Like, I would need like a tutorial.
Thank
And you're
God.
scared to go online and ask for a tutorial
You do not
because
look any of that up. No.
no. Okay. And
Yeah,
so
then you'll see too much. Then you know too much. And then you can't go back. Once you see it, you can't go back. You cannot go back.
okay.
Yeah.
So this episode
Mhm.
is about my rebranded self-care is
Yes.
called This Bitch Is Up.
Okay, so I'm going to ask everybody because I don't get it. Even though she's explained it, it still doesn't resonate
Well,
for me.
I'm
But
not sure I'm
please,
stuck, but for right now, that's what it is.
please explain to the listeners exactly your twist on self-care that lands with this bitch is up. Yes, please.
Okay, so like the young
Hang in
people,
there,
and I'm
people.
trying to be young these days, they just call each other bitches, which
So
is
you're trying to be more relevant.
yes, I'm trying to be relevant,
Okay.
which is hard. It's
Uh,
hard at my age. Okay, but so bitches is a good word. It's not a bad word. So if you think of bitch being a good word,
In today's society, you're
yes,
saying. Okay.
this bitch is up means it's my turn, fucking people.
I called
Stand
Lonnie
down.
Glasser a bitch in 4th grade in dodgeball, and he
Did
came
you?
over and told my mom. Yeah,
You called a boy a bitch?
yeah. I clearly didn't know what it meant. I didn't think it was as
What,
bad,
was
but
he
I called
acting
him.
like a bitch?
Well, he hit me with the dodgeball really close up, and I got out, and I was pissed, so I called him a bitch. I didn't know what it meant.
I
Clearly,
think he was a bitch.
he was a bitch because then he laughed at me, and then on the bus he goes, "I'm gonna come tell your mom," because he lived like 2 roads over. fucker showed up at my house, like
Did you
literally
get
an
in trouble?
hour. I literally felt sick the whole ride home on the bus. And he goes, I'll see you later, as he gets off the bus. And then he looks at me and I'm like, and my stomach's all sick. I mean, my stomach issue started early in life with stress. I literally went home. I went to my bedroom and all of a sudden, literally like an hour later on the door, I was like,
You knew.
oh, and he came and told my mom I got in so much trouble. I should have argued. I didn't know what it meant because I clearly called him a bitch, and that doesn't, I mean, he doesn't qualify.
No, he's a bastard.
Right.
Although this day and age, I think it's all interchangeable.
Yes, I know, but
oh my God. Well, you know what?
Yes.
I just want to highlight that.
If that happened right now in today's society, I don't think I would have gotten in trouble.
I don't think you would.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing about that is I feel like name calling never works out.
No, well, clearly, but damn, those balls are hard when you're really close and you really think, and I was a chubby, slower kid. So I felt like he just picked me off in the front mercilessly. He was merciless and he nailed me with that ball and I hurt like a mother. I think it was more hurt and then embarrassed. And then the chubby kid went to the side and then was angry.
Bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. I love that. Okay. There's a lot of people I could call names too, but yeah, I don't think I called anybody a name when I was
not really
young.
a name caller normally,
No,
but I did that day.
But I love that.
I think I reformed quickly.
Yeah, you were reformed. But did you get like detention or something?
Yeah, I don't remember what happened. I don't think I could go outside for a few days or something. I don't remember what the punishment was, but my mom was not happy with me.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
Mom,
Kathy.
you're a
Sorry,
good mom.
Kathy.
I know, Kathy.
Mom.
All right, shout out to Kathy. So
Yep.
this bitch is up.
Yes.
Means that bitch is important, means important.
Yeah.
Which means me. So important me, it's my time. I come first. And coming first is my rebranding for self-care.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. Well, I'm glad you love it.
I do love it.
I hated it. And it has never gone away, but we've never really like encapsulated it like this either.
No, we really haven't.
No.
We've talked about it a time or two.
Well, you made fun of it.
I did.
But I have to rebrand everything. And you know, I have a license to do that. After we've done all of these personality tests, listen, you have to give me the license. This is my thing.
No, you do. You'll take it anyway.
I
don't even have to give you the license.
I'm not supposed to ask.
Yeah, no, you don't ask.
I'm a catalyst for change.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna get used to it and help where I can. Yes, because I really
hopefully I don't insult anybody. But if you're insulted, I mean, I'm not for everybody.
No, I think that's part of our evolution in life.
Oh my God, it is.
Be kind, be thoughtful, but be authentic. And if that doesn't work for everybody, it doesn't work for everybody.
I love that. Well, that's for Jeanna. That's 4 principles. And we're going to talk about. Well, no, you had 4.
No,
you did, yeah, no, like you can. Well, maybe you counted too many, but you gave me 4 fingers.
Oh, I have
a weak finger that just kind of came out.
I have a stuck knuckle. I don't know.
Well, I think you said 4 things there.
Okay, right.
Our audience can decide. I don't know. I
Go
thought
back to the instant replay, everybody.
But we have 4 guiding principles to create a badass life today, Jeanna. And that means that self-care, this bitch is up. I'm not going to ever say self-care again. To self-care.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
This bitch is up.
You have a stuck finger too.
I do. Stuck middle finger.
Middle finger.
So there's 4 principles. We're going to talk about all 4.
Let's do it.
All right. So the first one is we've talked about it before.
Yeah, none of this
sounds like
we're repackaging
the shit we should
the
be
important
doing.
stuff we should all be doing.
Because
right?
it's 2022 and we want to make shit happen. Jupiter is coming across the sky, and actually we should have talked about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, Jupiter is blessing us
pretty much all year, yes.
Yeah, but it goes in April. I think it goes into Aries for a little while. So you Aries rising people, it's going over your ascendant, which means Jupiter is showering love on your identity. But Jupiter is actually showering love to all of us no matter what sign this year. Right. And it should be a better year than the past 2 years. And
I'm feeling it already, aren't you? Like we were talking about today.
I think so too. Yeah. I think so too. There's like a crack in the window.
Yeah, it feels like some fresh air.
Even though there's other shit going on.
No, there's a lot of energy,
screwed up things going on.
Yeah.
You know, with the inflation and workers and I don't know. I don't. And then the pandemic and the variant and.
Yeah. Energetically, it's just been an interesting start.
But January was always astrologically a little bit more challenging than, January. We're in Mercury retrograde right now and Venus retrograde all through January. This is going to come out maybe
Probably
end of January.
no, mid-February.
Yeah, beginning of February.
Mhm.
But I would say that yeah, this year is going to be better.
Yeah.
So I think we want to package these 4 principles up for you in a little nice package with the bright silver bow
Mhm.
with lots of loops on it,
None of
and
that.
maybe some bedazzling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of that, like, dark gray self-care packaging.
No, and
We're doing better.
no.
You said you weren't
Or
going to
unlabeled.
unlabeled.
We don't want that. And
Generic.
I don't want that shit that like comes off on your fingers either. If it's gonna
No.
be bedazzled, it needs to stay on the
Yeah.
fucking package.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, so the number 1 is to be intentional.
Mhm.
And so we've talked about this before, but honestly, we're not asking for you to do a 15-minute meditation
No.
twice a day. Well,
No.
actually, not even 20 minutes twice a day. If you're TM, that's what you have to do. And I love that. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not saying don't do it. We're saying for those of you that can't do it or
Right.
don't think you can do it,
Right.
it's not necessary.
Well, so what is necessary? So when you're thinking about being intentional, like, let's talk about some of the practices we've talked about before, because I do think you're right. I mean, people, this shouldn't feel onerous, I guess is.
Well, people
the
call
important
it
part.
work. I've been
Right.
listening to a lot of spiritual podcasts and they're like, every day do the work. And I'm like, it's not work.
Right. It's practice.
It's not work. It's like, do you call brushing your teeth in the morning work?
No.
No. I mean, do you call flossing work? I mean, we don't call that, we just do it.
It's your routine. It's part of
It's a
your
routine.
practice. It's
I
part of your-
love that.
yes.
So even a practice means, oh my God, I've got to
Get better.
practice yoga and get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Which
good
I
enough.
don't think
I'm
that's
not-
true.
Well, but practice means that you're practicing to get perfect.
Right.
And I don't agree with that, but that's how we
No,
think about it.
But that is, you're right. I guess you're right.
So
If
I don't
you're in
like
yoga,
practice.
practice.
But what else did you just say? What else did you just say? It's not practice.
Routine. Mhm.
It's routine. So we
Mhm.
want a new routine, an intentional routine.
If you need any other words, I'm an excellent thesaurus.
So yes, you are. And you know what? Here's the thing about that, Gigi,
Mhm.
is when I'm rebranding, I use you as my thesaurus. We can only say
Mhm.
thesaurus once or twice,
It's a
and then
tough
we're
word.
really
It's a
done
really
with
tough
that.
word. Yeah.
I just say that. No,
It's really
I don't
tough.
know. It's tough. Okay. And so, all right. So what does that look like? So you have to customize the routine to you, but at a
Right.
minimum,
Right.
you should set the tone for the day.
Right.
However you want to set that tone.
So visualization, you could
In
have
the
like
shower,
a mantra.
you can write it
can
down.
Sit
You can have it
quietly
with
and
your coffee.
feel how you want to feel at the end of the
Yes.
day.
But you don't get up like, oh my God, I'm up today and this is gonna be a
Shit,
shitty
like,
day.
Yeah, trudge your way to
No.
the bathroom and no.
None of that,
No.
Jeanna.
Well, and part of intention is also just a level of mindfulness. So when you put your feet down on the floor in the morning, just appreciate that, like feel those things, like all of
Yes,
those
I love
things that are milestones of a new opportunity, a new day, a new trip around the sun. That, I mean, if you think about, if you're just keep feeling like it's drudgery and you just got to keep going, you don't appreciate the window that's right in front of you every day.
I love that, Jeanna. And so we're going to invite all of you to do some sort of a practice like
Yeah.
that. Now, I will say, okay, maybe I start like that because I'm pretty good at starting.
You are.
Starting in a great mindset, and then I get fucking derailed. Okay. And so let's talk about when we get derailed, what to do.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to go see the step repeat, if nothing else, coming to the YouTube just to see that face when she said fucking derailed is well worth
Fucking
the trip.
derailed.
Well worth the trip to YouTube, people.
I mean,
Okay,
all
go.
right. So listen. Okay, the things that derail me are things that I don't have control over, obviously.
Sure.
But what I'm going to say is, I mean, do we have do I have a story? Do we have a story, Jeanna, about getting derailed?
Fucking derailed.
I'm derailed by people's energy.
Yeah.
So I go into a meeting.
Yep.
Thank God I've had less of those lately. But I go into a meeting and
Show
people
off.
are just hoping. Yes, I am.
Sure.
People are just, I mean, the thing that rubs me raw, and for everybody
Yeah.
it's different. So this is definitely for me.
Yeah, you got to know
Yes.
what it is for you, though.
Yes,
your point.
absolutely. Well, we're going to tell you when you feel triggered, you need to explore what it is for
Right. It's a you
So-
thing, not a them thing.
you. So when I
Although
go
we
to-
want to blame it on them, kind of like,
oh hell
Lonnie
yes.
Glasser.
I mean, what a bunch of fucked up people. Okay, like
Yeah,
right.
you do.
But really, the reality is to look within. But So for me, it's a bunch of people sitting in a room with dysfunctional energy. I can feel it. I'm a hella Pisces, so I feel all that energy, but I don't really recognize I feel it. And people are unhappy and unspoken unhappiness and shit like that just sends me up a river. Okay. And so when you go up the river, you need to know you're going up the river, and it's really actually not about them at all. And so when you have those, I call them triggers. Is there a better way to rebrand that? We're going to rebrand trigger. Should we?
Do we need to?
Because trigger is just like, I don't know, it feels like a gun.
I don't like when people say pull the trigger to make a decision. I don't like that either. Yeah, I agree.
Pull the trigger, that's awful.
When they say I'm going to pull the trigger, and
we have so many of those like awful sayings that are barbaric. Or they're sexist, or they're racist. There's so much. There's it's a minefield these days. Okay, and so I don't want to be part of that minefield.
No, let's not perpetuate it anymore.
No, we want to be conscientious about that.
We'll have to work on the trigger.
However, like
I don't
when you don't feel yourself. Okay, when you're just thrown off. So let's say not trigger, but when you just like your day is upside down, and the energy, whatever, it doesn't feel good. That is an invitation to look within and say, okay, well, what's happening? So for me, when I'm looking at these meetings, what's happening is it's a deeply triggered thing within myself. And it really shows me I need to put up boundaries and let that go. It's not me. It's not my energy. It's not my thing. And if it is, like, for example, let's take you, and who was the guy that was a bitch?
Lonnie.
You and Lonnie.
Sorry, Lonnie. I doubt he's listening, but Lonnie, I've forgiven you a long time ago. I hope you have done the same.
Okay. All right. Well, for you and Lonnie, where you called him, you got mad at him. Let's explore that. Okay. So you were triggered, or you were unsettled by Lonnie smashing the ball in your face.
It wasn't my face. It was my backside, because I couldn't run fast enough. That really is probably where the anger came in. To your point, it wasn't about Lonnie and the ball at all. It was about my chubbiness.
Well, and maybe. Okay. But
I do think that was a big part.
And the reality is
don't send the chubby kid to the front of the dodgeball, because you have to run up to get the balls at the front when the game starts. I was out in like 20 seconds.
Like Lonnie was doing his job.
No, he did. He was playing the game.
And like you can get overzealous and throw too hard.
It wasn't Lonnie. It was going to be somebody else.
No, it was. I mean,
they're all looking at me going, "Oh, it's an easy out."
Okay, so you were angry because of yourself.
Yeah, of course. And I was embarrassed. Of course. Yes, it had nothing to do with Lonnie making a great throw. It was the fact that I couldn't get out of the way.
It's funny. I mean, the trigger's about weight and body. So it's funny because Jeanna and I, so Jeanna's always late to my house, and we were going to do this podcast. And so I said, "Where's Gigi?" I sent a text. She did not text me back. And so I thought, well, I have enough time to go grab my dry cleaner.
I was going to be early and I was going to surprise you, but keep going. Keep telling your story.
Anyway, so I'm driving out as she's driving in. And so I turn around and I get her. And I said, I still Gigi. Okay. And I go, let's just go get my dry cleaning. And so as we're going to the dry cleaning, we go by this coffee stand that is obscure. Coffee Zon is what it's called. We should like tag them that they're going to be.
We really should.
But they're so amazing. Okay. I said, Jeanna, that coffee's on there. And I'm telling her about it. I'm like, it's the best place ever. I go, they have like every drink known to man, and they advertise it. And then they have the most delicious.
And it looks a little Slim Shady. I'm just going to say, Holli's normal amazing place looks nothing like
looks very upscale. This looks like and I go, but that's part of its charm, is it doesn't look that way, but the treats, their food is utterly surely mesmerizing. They must like send that.
It looks like it's full of ho-hos and stuff.
They always have a line out from here to Godzilla, and you have to wait a gazillion years to get through. Nice. And I told her, I said, Jeanna, and plus, like on top of all this, like there's a cherry on top that all the girls, and I've never seen a guy there, so I'm not being sexist, but all the girls there are gorgeous. That's what I tell her. And I go, but maybe that's not good, because so I'm second guessing myself. I'm like, because they don't hire any ugly people.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know that I would notice ugly people, but nevertheless, I mean, I don't know. I was like, there's no average people there.
But you did, like, you had a moment of, is that inclusive?
Is that
Like, are they
inclusive?
being
Yeah,
not inclusive,
I was
right?
like, oh, maybe I shouldn't even like celebrate that because that's weird.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And Jeanna, what did you say?
I can't remember how I segued to it, but I basically said, so they're all thin.
You said they're all, well,
Must be
so
all
they couldn't
skinny.
eat, so they're not
So they're
hiring
not
any
eating
chubby.
it. That's what
They're
it was.
not
Yes.
hiring any chubby people.
Right.
And I said, well, I didn't say they were thin, Jeanna.
Yeah.
And I like, I'm already still in the inclusiveness. Like, is it
Yeah,
wrong?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then I was like, well, I didn't say they were thin, Jeanna. And she's
Yeah.
like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
And I was like,
So there's
well,
a Jeanna.
and then I'm starting to
yes.
think, well, are they thin or are they not? I don't know. I just remembered that they were gorgeous.
Mhm.
And that's how I said it. And she goes, well, now looky whose problem that is.
Yeah, it's so true.
Well, so,
as a young person, I mean,
Yes.
we've talked about on this podcast so many times. For me, it didn't matter how gorgeous I was. If I wasn't thin, I didn't feel very beautiful at all. And
there's a lot of people that feel that way.
I know, but to hear someone like yourself, thin and gorgeous, like say, well, I don't know if they were thin, they're just beautiful. They're just gorgeous.
They were just gorgeous. I mean, maybe they weren't thin. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I have no idea whether they were thin or not, but I know that they're all beautiful.
Yeah.
And part of it is their energy. And then Prince, my dog, Princey, the, little Shih Tzu,
Yeah.
they like Princey.
Course,
And,
of course.
so I don't know. I mean,
doesn't
it's,
like
I think
But here's
it's
the
the
thing.
feeling about
Well,
their gorgeousness.
This is what's interesting is because I think there are, I mean,
We need to go over there now.
yeah, I
and
gotta
say
go-
we
I
talked
gotta
about
go.
them in the
Yes, we
podcast.
should.
Mhm.
But I don't think that way about other people, that you have to be thin to be gorgeous or beautiful. I do not think that way.
But you
I think that way
assumed-
about myself.
But you assumed I thought that way.
I assumed you thought, because
It's
if I thought that way, I assumed
Yeah.
you thought.
And I've struggled
Because
with my weight too.
Yeah.
So it's not like I've,
And we usually are pretty
Yes.
aligned on kind of generally how we're coming at certain things.
Yeah.
I mean, we're rarely wildly off base. So I just assumed you would have been in this, that's what you meant. That's
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
it
that
wasn't.
at
And then
all.
I'm even more perplexed. Like, were they bigger? I don't have any idea. Like, do I have a problem? Am I not detail oriented?
No.
I have no idea. Where's my Virgo?
And my
Where's
issue-
my detailed
And
Virgo?
you guys heard it. My issue quickly became hers.
Yes, it did. Okay, like I take
That's
on
how it
everybody's
works.
energy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
yes. Okay,
Yeah.
isn't that funny?
For sure.
Okay, so all right, number 2.
Yes.
Take inspired action.
Right.
So when you lay out the day, so think about this, you're laying out your day
Mhm.
and you see that the sun is shining here in
Mhm.
Western Washington. It's not very shiny
Right
now. It's very gray.
Mhm.
The other day I thought, I can get out. I have one meeting, but I could do that on the road. And I got out and I took inspired
go?
action to go outside. And I was listening to some podcasts and I got some great ideas when I was outside. So you've got to take inspired action where your heart flows.
Right.
You should go.
So that's the inspired part. Because I was going to
Yes.
clarify, what does inspired action mean versus just going outside and getting some fresh air?
Well, I
The
thought,
inspired
that would
is-
be, I should do this. And instead of saying, I should do this, I do it.
You're going to. And then the part of the inspiration is, energetically for your soul, where you're at, how you're feeling for the day, it's exactly
me.
what you need. Feed you. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
it will
Okay.
feed me.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
And inspired action can come in any form, but it's not like when I say I should go, I'm not saying I should go because I want to lose weight. Okay, that isn't it.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I should go because somebody else thinks I should go.
Mhm.
I'm saying because I want to clarify my should, because that's
Yeah.
confusing.
Yeah.
I should go because I thought, that's going to be good for me.
Yeah.
It's going to feed my soul. So
That's what I feel called
yeah,
to do.
so we don't actually want you to do anything that you think you should
feels
do based on
obligatory.
other people.
Yeah.
Yes,
Feels obligatory.
I think
yeah.
we're going to get to that. but-
Yeah. I think we will too.
All right. And then the other thing I want to talk about with regard to inspired action is if there's some fear there, I think you should pull back and dissect that
Yeah.
fear, because I have on another podcast, I was going to saying this and I don't remember saying it, but apparently I did. And I went
Yeah.
back and sure
sure
enough, I
did.
did say it.
They actually named the podcast.
Yeah,
this.
after
Mhm.
what I
Mhm.
said, and it's not like lightning bolt. Other people have said this, but if you fear it, you should do it.
Right.
And so I really truly believe that. And I think I mean, not frivolous things, maybe.
Sure, right,
I wanna
within
go
reason, obviously, right.
jump out of a plane and I
Right.
feared I should do it. Maybe you should,
Yeah.
but
But we
in-
didn't talk about Fireside. Let's just talk about that for
Yeah,
a
let's
second.
talk about
Because,
that.
the concept of branching out, like we talked about it earlier on the podcast, it's a new platform that we're venturing into and taking our show there. And it's intimidating a bit because it's not what we've gotten so comfortable doing. And we thought, okay, well, this is new. There's all this technology. And even though Holli is, the czar of technology, self proclaimed, but she is very good. Like, it's still, it's a different rhythm for us. It's a different, it brings
thought
back
it was
all
scary.
those first,
Yes.
when we did the first podcast, I was like, oh, I mean, I literally felt like we were gonna throw up, and now we just revel in the opportunity to do it. Oh, I know, it's not
the
good.
first time.
I know the bowels were
We've
loose.
only
It was
done
not a good time.
No, it was not a good time. We're
but
on
this-
number 3.
Right. But we did the first one, and I think had you really not pushed through it, there would have been every reason to say we could do it next week or do it next week. And were committed, and we just get in there, and it was so much fun.
Well, and
the fear was gone in like
it was gone as soon as
10 or 15 seconds.
Yeah. But then it was like, well, how do we do this better? And how do we make it better for people?
Yeah.
And so we paused until we could figure out how to make it better. But there was a lot of fear around that.
Oh,
and I just please God, get me through it so I can go do something fun. Because prior to the show, I'm like, no, I'm drinking coffee. I'm sweating it out. I'm trying to look okay for camera.
Yeah, no, it was good. I mean,
we pushed through it.
We did. And I think the more you do that, the less you have to really work to overcome that fear. You really do. It becomes more normalized that you can push through it and do it. And then you realize you get through it, and you build your own personal confidence.
Absolutely. And you got to think about it this way. Life is here and it's about change.
It is.
And you can't stay stuck somewhere, even if you don't like and you fear change, because that's what it is. It's fear of screwing up, looking stupid,
not being successful,
on and on and on. Like that list is a mile long,
mile, whatever it is. Yeah.
And so that means that you're fearful of change and movement, but we have to as humans, or you wither up.
Yeah. You're not growing. Dying, retracting. No,
you're retracting.
Yeah. I think, it's been so simple over the last couple of years. And so the Fireside was fun. Like, it got my, heartbeat going, and there
was some bobbing and weaving, girl.
There was a ton of bobbing and weaving. Listen, but it was fun. I was ready to bob and weave.
Yeah.
And, after this whole, couple of years of what the whole COVID situation is, kind of this, it's almost like you're not thriving, you're not withering, you're just sort of surviving. It's sort of like surviving. Gosh, there is a great term for it. I'll think of it, but it is. And when you can push through something that's a little scary or different and find some victory on the other side of it, it reminds you how we're supposed to be living. And I think we're in a weird time right now with the COVID situation, that it's going to take some practice for all of us, right? So find those small things to push through, because it really does build confidence.
And for us, when we saw the email come through to looking for content creators, I was like, yes. And then I sent it to Jeanna, and she's like, yes. I go, well, it's weird that we were both like, yes. And part of the reason was because it's visual, because it's a show, we can talk to you guys, and it's more interactive. It's not like Facebook Live or Instagram. It just has a different look and feel, and we can interact more together. And I just, I think saying yes to those opportunities, even though that they are maybe scary, is really important to continue to do. And one of the things that we're doing right now is, of course, we're together in the studio for the podcast. On this Fireside, we can't really be together because we can't fit in the same screen. And the beauty is I had COVID over the New Year's, and when I said, Jeanna, I don't care if I'm dying, we're going to do the show.
Yeah, you were.
And the first show, I had COVID on that show. I just drug myself up and put myself on.
And went right back to bed as soon as it was over.
I did actually. And but we were able to work in this environment and thrive. And so we were thriving, even though I had COVID, and we're in this environment, we are collaborating and we're talking to our audience and we're thriving.
Yes. 100%.
And so that's what it's meant to be, to, take this inspired action.
Yeah,
exactly. And so I want everybody to rethink how they're going through their day. And are you taking the inspired action that your soul is calling you to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, number three. Number three.
Bring it home.
Jeanna?
We're rounding second base. Keep going. Keep going.
The last one's quick. Okay, but this one is energetic hygiene. And so you love the term energetic hygiene.
I really do, and it's important. Like I had never thought about it. It was April Cornell had talked about energetic hygiene.
Did she coin that for us?
In her
Thank
episode.
you, April.
Yeah, she was incredible, and it was a great episode. And the energetic hygiene is never really, because I think of hygiene as it's kind of back to your routine, right? It's a practice. It's something that you're responsible for.
Yeah.
It is, part of just healthy, good living is to be, have great hygiene, right? Whether it's your teeth or getting to the shower and it's not smell. But energetic hygiene it's just making sure that you are responsible for the energy that affects you, and you're responsible for the energy you share with others. And just thinking about it from that hygiene perspective was huge. And so when we were thinking about, this bitch is up, the rebranded version of self-care, really putting yourself in spots and managing energy it's huge. Like you said, you're hella Pisces. I am extremely intuitive, and I feel like I care what people think. I definitely pick up on those feelings. It will talk about derailer. It will derail me faster than almost anything else. Is if I let someone else's energy, or if I'm putting bad energy out, I feel like shit about it. And, you just being mindful, it's your responsibility to show up with healthy energy.
Yeah, no, I love that. I do think that we are responsible for the energy we put out and the energy that we take in.
Yes.
And just like we take care of our body by giving it good nutrition and exercising, we take care of our own personal hygiene. It's the same thing, and humans are energy. It's don't make me talk about science, Jeanna. Okay, but those people who are super brilliant, like I think they're sexy. Scientists are sort of sexy.
Well, yeah, you kind of have that.
I have a thing for that. Yeah, I do. And so the sexy scientists, we can talk to them about it. We are not scientists. Don't make us think like that. But scientists agree that we're energetic beings. And so that is an element that we have seemed to have lost with this left brain analytical society that we're in. We've lost that fact that this is a very important hygiene, a component for being a whole human and to live a badass life.
Absolutely.
And one of the things you can do if you've taken on, so Jeanna said, she takes on other people's stuff. So do I. I mean, like we're both like,
I think it's impossible.
I would have to call her and say, am I okay? Well, what's just happened? What was that? One of the things you can do is, I mean, listen, I don't have my own bathtub. I know that's a crime, but sit in salt.
Epsom salt.
Yes. And no, I don't think Epsom salt. Somebody told me
it's
Himalayan salt, not Epsom salt.
Yes,
it doesn't have the right properties.
Yeah.
Or you can spray with that after a shower. You can spray with that to try to get out of your system. You can. I think did April give us some tips and tricks too?
She did. She did. Yes, she did.
Go back to that podcast and she gave tips and tricks to kind of manage that energy. But you have to be thinking about that, because I would say before Jeanna and before my quest in the spiritual journey, I didn't understand that. And from childhood, I've been picking this up and been miserable. And I didn't know why. And oftentimes I still struggle figuring it out.
Yeah. You are a role model for many of us. So you've come a long way, but it gets back to the whole intent of this particular podcast is you have to stay with it, you know, just be, it is again, it's back to routine, it's back to practice. It is, if you aren't intentional about it, you will slip, and it starts to, you know, it will start to impact you more than you want or you designed.
One of the things you can do is figure out, like, if you identify a situation where it really wasn't your energy, and I would say keep your own. If we're having a bad day, keep our own energy. The other day I was having a bad day and I said, Jeanna, I'm grouchy today. I can't stand myself. And that kind of cleared it. It cleared it for me. Just by naming it and feeling it, and just, okay, it's gone now. I'm fine. I mean, literally. So that's one way to get rid of your own. But one of the things that I like to always say is, one of the ways I know it's not mine is I used to just go, where's Led Zeppelin in the Immigrant Song? I need to play that really loud, and then I know it's not mine.
Right. You're just
like, what is it that you do afterwards that you
I'm just the host for somebody else's energy.
Host, and I'm like, I gotta get it out.
Yeah.
Okay, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, Lanaya never told me to do that, but Lanaya King, who we had on the podcast, I mean,
she's so great. Go back to some of my episodes. She's amazing.
Private sessions with her, and I think she talked about it on our podcast, is just once you know you're hosting someone's energy that's impacting you in a negative way, well, really anybody else's energy really shouldn't be yours. So it's just good to, she called it cutting cords. Remember this? Like,
yeah, I love that.
So
that's a great way of doing it.
Close your eyes and think about just kind of the tether of energy from all your interactions, known and unknown, throughout the day, right? It's sometimes you don't even realize it's going on. Somebody could be thinking about you and it ties some sort of energetic cord.
Well, that freaks me out, and that's happened before.
Oh, it has. Of course it has.
And I don't even ignore. I'm like, no, that's too weird. I don't get that, but it just happens.
Of course it is. It's energy, right? So even if you don't even know where it might be coming from, you know when you're feeling off. And if you really get quiet and stay in tune with yourself, just close your eyes, end of the day. And what she said is just like literally envision like you're playing rock, paper, scissors, the scissors, you know, just kind of think about your hand and just walk, you know, kind of move it around your whole body, you know, envision the cords and basically just cutting them and saying, you know, I release this energy back to its rightful owner. It is not mine.
I love that.
And just bless it and send it back.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, you feel
it's
like
gentle. She's done that with me too.
I feel like 10
amazing.
pounds lighter when I do that exercise.
I don't know why it is. I like having somebody do it with me. I'm like, I don't know if I'm codependent, Jeanna, but
possible.
Well, I do want you to have a tracker.
If anyone can diagnose it, I would appreciate it. I feel
I
like
do want to put her on a tracker like my child. I would just feel happier if I knew where she was at. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not stalking you. I just want to know.
All right.
I know codependency. So like, I don't know.
The where's Gigi text came about 4 minutes before you were bailing out of here, leaving me, assuming I wasn't going to be on time. And I was early.
I know that is.
I was going to surprise you, and I thought you'd be so happy. I actually got a lot done this morning, and I still was on time. I was so proud of myself. And you're leaving and bailing on me.
I was,
and seemed quite annoyed I was on time.
I was like, huh? Okay. It's all good. Anyway, okay. So that one is that one.
Yeah.
And then the final and fourth and final principle is, well, as Lionel Richie said, did he say it with Earth, Wind, and Fire? Celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. That one.
I don't know who he was with, but it was definitely Lionel Richie.
Okay. So as Lionel, our good friend.
Yeah.
No, we actually don't know him. He should know us. He'd
will
be happy to know us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will.
But anyway, celebrate what you find.
Yeah.
And even if you don't find exactly what you are looking for. And so I was having a conversation with my son the other day, and we were talking about a manager. And I said, oh my God, you need a manager to help your career. And he's like, I don't know anybody. And I was giving him some ideas. And we were just chatting about it. And I was like, oh, I'm sure somebody will come up. And then the next day, this guy shows up, and we didn't know why he was showing up. A friend of his, like they were going to look at a song, or they were going to do something. My son's a music producer, and he pitched him to be his manager.
Oh, interesting.
Now I was like, oh my God. So, I'm celebrating.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. And he goes, Mom, that's ridiculous.
Oh, so he wasn't
the guy steals stuff.
Oh.
Like on, how they do,
sample.
No. Like on social media where you get like downloads and
Oh, yes. Yeah.
you do tricky things to
Yes.
get like people to like
Followers.
you or
Mhm.
followers. Yes,
Mhm.
followers. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. And he goes, no, that's wrong. That is not sustainable. It could
Yeah.
be illegal. And he goes, that's just terrible. I go, but look at the universe.
Yeah.
Like giving
Brought you an option.
Brought you an option.
Mhm.
I'm not saying it's a good option. You're really smart, and I'm glad that you're thinking that way. But after one day,
Yeah.
that's pretty expeditious.
Yeah.
And he could not see that, Jeanna.
Yeah.
And what I'm asking the audience is to
Yeah.
see those little things, even when they show up.
And they aren't it.
Right. And so I have left my corporate job and
Yeah.
I'm doing some work for them still, but I had somebody ping me to talk, and I thought, well, hell yes.
Yes.
And I didn't think I wanted to do anything that they wanted me to do,
Mhm.
but why not talk about it? And I celebrated. No, I
Yeah.
didn't want to do any of that. Okay. We had a lovely conversation, and
Yeah.
who knows what will ever come of that.
Yeah.
If anything, it doesn't matter. But I was like, okay, well, so the universe is showing me, Holly, don't be afraid.
Right.
There are options out
Right.
there. So that's how I view it. I
Right.
view it as just, carry on, and it's wishes fulfilled are coming. And
Well-
I'm gonna, entice you or dangle the carrot in front of you that you're doing the right things.
Well, and I think it's the universe's little wink to co-create with you two. Like,
Yeah.
it's the signal that, okay, we hear you.
Yeah.
We're going to put some things down in your path. You pick up what works, clarify if you need something different. Like, it's the opportunity for you to go, gosh, thank you, universe. Thank you so much. Like, energetic,
It's so
put it out there.
beautiful.
And then you can go, gosh, we want somebody who doesn't steal followers. That would be, so like, clarify a little bit, and let's see what else we've got. Who else comes along?
Yeah, but be delighted.
Be delighted.
Yes.
Be delighted and go, gosh, that's
I
not
could
quite
not get him to be
couldn't.
delighted at all. No. And I was like, okay, well,
He's a
that's
Virgo. He wants to get it right the first time.
it's perfection.
Always.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so we love you, Virgos out there.
Yes,
I
we
mean,
really
I have
do,
Virgo
but it
in
is,
me,
it's
and that is
it's awareness.
It's one that you have to manage. And
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
that's
you're gonna
100%.
have to manage that. But
Yep.
anyway, so I would say that be delighted, celebrate everything, and more will keep coming. So I really believe, Jeanna,
Yeah.
that these 4 principles, I'm going to say them again, so
Yeah.
we have them all
Recap
down.
it for the kids
Yes,
who
be intentional,
Yep. Mhm.
take inspired action, energetic hygiene, and celebrate. And I really think if you do these things
Yeah.
all the time, every day,
Yes.
it's almost like it becomes a momentum.
Yeah, it does.
And then more and more starts happening. Then there's more and more celebration. When I went through my days of, and I have not been doing this, I've been doing it slightly, but the days of, I want free gifts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Your
I was getting
manifestation.
free gifts everywhere. I mean, like, and I would scream with delight, and I haven't been doing that lately. Okay. But there was definitely
Yeah.
a momentum.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to just be with free gifts. It's with your life.
Exactly.
Develop a momentum. We are encouraging you. We are inviting you to develop that momentum, to commit to the momentum, and drive your future
Relish it.
towards a badass life.
Mhm.
This bitch is
Is
up.
up.
Jeanna,
I think we should that's a mic drop.
I think it is.
That was a full circle mic drop.
Okay. We love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Take care, everyone.